Hey everybody, welcome back to the Badgerland Birding Podcast, bringing you birding news and stories from the Badger State and beyond. Today we're with Nigel and Kaylee from the Backyard Aviary Adventures YouTube channel, and they are in the UK. So we're really excited to talk to you guys and learn more about what birding is like over there and hear more about the channel. How you guys doing?
Well, good.
Well,
Okay.
very well, thank you very much.
Yeah, and
And you,
the time difference is like 6 hours, right? You guys are
it is. Yeah, it's
six-ish hours ahead.
yeah, it's like 7:05 or something now.
It was funny because we could have Googled it, but instead I was just like, what time is it there? And they were
Yeah,
like, oh, it's this time. And I was like, oh, here it's this time. That means it's this many hours ahead. And then we just rolled with it and it worked out just
yeah, it
fine.
was easiest way to do it. Yeah,
Yeah,
I did eventually Google to double check, and it was like the UK is 6 hours ahead of Central Standard Time. So I was like, good, my math checked out.
it's one to remember.
Yeah.
So, first of all, why don't you guys give us a little background about how you guys got interested in birds in the first place? Was it something you were always interested in, or did it kind of come about later on in life?
I
And did
mean,
the channel actually start with aviary stuff specifically?
yeah,
Because I thought I remembered seeing a lot of captive birds originally on your
yeah.
YouTube channel.
So I'll start off with my journey into birding, and I'll try and do it in a nutshell. I was a bird watcher as a child, and I got into it, and then throughout kind of teenage and early 20s, I kind of lost interest because I got into teenage stuff and early adult stuff. And then,
We won't go into exactly what that was.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It was still on the back burner because I did kind of go and see a couple of rare birds, but I wasn't. It wasn't an active part of my life. And then, unfortunately, my father passed away in 2009, and he was a photographer. He was well into photography, and my mum asked if I wanted my dad's digital camera. And we went out for a walk one day. I took a picture of a robin, and kind of everything came flooding back, and it went from there. That's kind of my story. And then when I met Kaylee, um, yeah, well, you tell that bit.
Yeah, you can tell it. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Speak it.
I did a little bit of kind of birding from when I started taking photographs of birds when I got my dad's camera, but not extensively, not as much as I am now. Then I met Kaylee, and we did the Aviary thing. I'll talk about that just briefly. So during lockdown, we decided we wanted chickens, and we couldn't get chickens, but I could get a pair of golden pheasant.
Much
Even
cooler.
better.
Yeah.
That was cool. Yeah, they're ace. We've still got them, hence the logo. So I built an aviary in the backyard out of all sorts of just bits of timber and wire and whatnot, and put these pheasants in there. And then we got chickens, and then we got a whole bunch of other like poultry and finches and stuff. And we started kind of documenting that via YouTube. And then we did a couple of trips, didn't we? We went to see a couple of rarities.
Let's go to the vulture.
There was there was a bearded vulture in the UK, a young one, which is really, really, really rare. So we went to see that on like a bit of a whim, and you kind of enjoyed
I
that,
really
didn't you?
enjoyed that. Yeah.
And then from then on, that became our content, and we grew with it. We went abroad a couple of times. We got married in 2021.
Congratulations.
Thank you kindly. And we went to Gambia on our honeymoon, which is a place I'd been to twice and loved, and wanted to take Kaylee, and she enjoyed all the birds there because they're just phenomenal. The wildlife there is just out of this world. That's West Africa. And then it just kind of grew from there. It was Kaylee's idea to start using the van for accommodation when we're birding because it saved on accommodation.
Yep.
So we started off doing it in the back of a 4x4, taking the seats out, which was cramped at best. But then, unfortunately, we lost my sister to cancer a few years ago, and she left it. She knew she was going, and she left some money, and that money paid for a van.
Yeah.
So, thanks to my sister, even though she's not with us, but she left us a gift that helps us do what we do,
Yeah.
which is amazing.
Yeah, sorry for your loss for sure, but it seems like the people in your life that have passed on have given you gifts that have contributed to your bird watching passion. So
Oh yeah,
it seems as both your sister and your dad, passed that on to you. So that's really cool.
excellent. Yeah. No, that's kind of pretty much how it came along. But we didn't. I don't know about your story as far as your YouTube channel goes, but we didn't kind of start it to be successful YouTubers. We didn't even realize much was happening until we started getting towards monetization, and
We just did it for fun.
we just did it for fun, yeah. And then when we got towards monetization, we thought, oh, we're like, people are watching this now. We better like start making kind of more content, and we try and get a video out every week, which admittedly is quite difficult around kids and jobs and whatnot.
As you know yourself.
As you probably know yourself, but yeah.
I wish I didn't have a job to work around, but yes, the job is the
Absolutely.
biggest one for me. So having a job and kids probably even more so.
Yeah. The what helps us is I'm stepdad. So the kids go to their dads every other weekend, and that's when we do a lot of our content.
Yeah.
So we get every other weekend, we've got from about 6 o'clock on a Friday to 5 o'clock on a Sunday.
And you've got to film as much as you can, as quick as you can.
Yeah, all around the country. So we can say on a Friday, we can set off at about 6 in the evening and park up somewhere on the south coast or somewhere else at like midnight or 1 in the morning, and then bird all Saturday, bird a little bit Sunday, and then rush back home for the girls getting back. So it's hectic, but it's that's part of the fun of it. It's a big chase.
There's definitely a skit in there somewhere where you guys are both like, the kids are away. You know what that means. And you look at each other like, birding for the weekend. There's definitely a skit in there for sure.
Every other weekend.
I would definitely agree with you that when we started, we just kind of did it because no one was doing it. So there were so many people that were doing photographs, and I didn't really have that much of an interest in just taking photographs and posting them. So we were like, why don't we try making some videos and we'll post them and we'll see what happens. And at that point, birding YouTube wasn't really a thing at all. So I think we were one of the first birding YouTube channels in general. And then we liked making the videos. It was the fun part, was making the videos and going on the journeys and stuff. And we didn't necessarily, we were like, oh, it'd be cool if this grew, but it wasn't something that was like, we're going to do this to make money. This is our goal. Whereas I feel like a lot of content creators nowadays, they're kind of like, I want to do this to be famous, or I want to do this to make money. I feel like it was a little more pure when we started. And it sounds like that was the same for you too as well.
Yeah. Ours was very much just because we enjoy it. It's just fun.
Well, we still do. It's I wouldn't be doing it if we didn't enjoy it.
Because there's no point. We work anyway, but we just enjoy doing it, and people get to see what we see, so it's a lot of fun.
And you see so much as well. We see like enormous parts of the UK that we probably wouldn't see otherwise if we weren't doing this.
Absolutely,
it's a huge adventure. It really is.
100%.
Sure.
And I know one thing, Ryan, really, well, I love it too, but it's nice to go back and watch those videos and be like, oh, that was fun when we went and saw that, bird, or we went to that place. And I feel like when you're having the most fun seeing things is when the viewers are having the most fun too. They can they know when you're having a good time on camera and enjoying the adventure, struggling with a flat tire, something like that, or like they can feel the emotion with you.
Or dipping a bird after you've driven for 5 hours or something.
Yeah.
Like not seeing it. Just like deep frustration.
So that brings me to the question. Derek, we actually talked for like half an hour to 40 minutes as like a little introductory call, just talking about what the podcast was going to be like and everything. We talked a lot about the UK versus US birding. And wasn't it a tundra bean goose you were going to go for?
We didn't. I went for something else.
We talked about that for like 15 minutes. He kept going, there's a tundra bean goose and I need it for the year. And it's actually not that far away. And I was like, what's holding you back from going? He's like, nothing really. And I was like, go get it. And now to hear that you didn't depresses me.
No, I went for something different, but I got two new species instead of one.
Was it the owl?
Yeah.
I mean, that sounds pretty cool.
Scops owl, European Scops owl. And I also got pallid harrier, which was a lifer, and a bird we've failed to see a whole bunch of times. So that was a nice one to get on.
I can let you off the hook then on your failure to go see the bean goose.
I appreciate that. we there still may be chance. I don't know. I think we've pretty much only got chance for one day before Christmas and then a couple of days after.
Yes, we're going to try this weekend, aren't we?
We're going to try and go Friday night into Saturday, but we've got family commitments on Sunday. Ooh. So it's going to be a bit of but there's not much in the UK at the moment that we haven't had. There's only a couple of things.
Yeah. Something crazy too is that traveling across the UK is not like traveling across the United States just because of the size. So you were saying you can get kind of anywhere in the UK for the most part relatively easy.
Yeah. You're looking at kind of barring Scotland, because Scotland's just massive. and Cornwall, because that just goes on forever. You can get to the south coast in 4 hours if you on the motorway. And
Yeah, because we're West Coast. And
yeah,
we go across the East Coast a lot.
we go across the east coast. That's 3.5.
Yeah, that's 3.5 hours.
At most.
Isn't that crazy, Derek? Just think about that.
It is- it
this
is
was
crazy
spotted
to think
across the
about.
country. How long is that going to take? 4 hours.
How easy is it for you guys if there's nothing rare in the UK to expand out of the UK? Like, is it easy to just go a little further, or is it kind of like if there's nothing there, there's really nothing for you guys to see?
No, you could
That's
quite easily.
new.
You could. It's expense. That's
Yeah, so you
the
could
goal.
drive. You could drive, get a ferry, get a plane. It's not.
So it gets more complicated, though.
Yeah, it
It's just
definitely gets more
expense, really.
complicated.
Yeah, because I feel like for us, like if there's nothing rare in Wisconsin, we feasibly could just drive wherever we want in the US and see, new things out of there. So I feel like there's like an endless amount of things to look for here.
Oh, that's crazy because you
where
could go
driving
on a
is the
road
limiting
trip that would
factor.
be 22 hours, and you still haven't reached the coast in some places. So the driving the US can be a wild experience because it can just be so long.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, we
wouldn't be able to do that because we'd have
No.
to go across to France or somewhere like that.
We did
You'd have to
drive-
get on a ferry though, wouldn't you?
we did drive to the south of France though, didn't
Yeah.
we? Like was it last year? Last summer we drove to France with my youngest stepdaughter Emily, and that was fun. We got some good birds there. It wasn't complete birding because we had the little one with us, but it was a hell of an adventure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. It's cool to be able to just go, to another country. Whereas I feel as though in Europe, the countries are almost like our states, except with more differences in culture and things. But if you ever, look at the map of Europe, you're going across countries instead of across states and kind of the same time frames.
Yeah, we flew.
You've got the whole of Europe and then us just stuck out.
Yeah,
You are separate, yes.
yeah. We did fly to Greece in April, and that was amazing for birds.
That's cool. That's pretty cool.
We saw like species that I'd only seen in books and dreamed about,
It was
and
amazing.
that was really quite something. And we did quite a lot of birding because we didn't have any of the girls with us. So
Do your kids like birding at all?
So the youngest and the middle one, I've seen. What have they seen?
Emily.
You're good with the list.
Emily's had some real rarities. She's the youngest one. She's had black-browed albatross in the UK, red-tailed shrike, Hudsonian godwit. She's had that
Oh,
in the
nice.
UK.
That's cool.
That was a really, really cool
Yeah,
bird.
they've-
She's had quite a lot. Olivia's had quite a lot of the Scottish birds, like
Yeah, she's had-
white-tailed eagle and osprey and whatnot, and she's had Isabelline shrike as well in the UK.
Yeah,
So yeah, the eldest one isn't particularly interested, but the other two have shown some interest.
She isn't particularly interested yet.
She's 16 and she has autism, so she's into history and things like that. So
Ah, gotcha.
yeah, they tend to be very tunneled into what they like.
You got to be like, what has a lot of history? Birds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
make the crossover.
I was gonna say, like, you gotta get them into video editing so they can edit your videos for you someday. Be like, what's fun? Editing videos.
Yeah.
And then you guys can
It's
go on
not
the
fun.
adventure and be like, here you go, here are the files.
That's a really good idea.
That is one part of this that I have a love-hate relationship with video editing.
I feel that, yeah.
Like you've just got to free up 9 hours or something to edit a video.
I think it used to not take me as long, but now as I've tried to make everything more detailed and fit together better and just be higher quality, it takes me way longer. So I'll realize that I've spent 3 days editing one video and I'll just be like, what am I doing? Or Derek, tell them what happened with the camera you tried to use the other day.
Oh, I had a new camera I was using for vlogging, and I filmed this thing, and I thought everything was good. I went to the computer and like 3 or 4 of the files, it was like a 1-hour video, and like 3 or 4 of the shots of me talking that composed like 30 minutes of the episode, there's just no audio on. So I'm just like, and it's like not recoverable. It's just like a weird setting was turned on. And I'm like, why do you have a camera where you can record video that doesn't record audio with an internal microphone? So
He was
That is
depressed.
terrible.
I was
up
I
here
was excited
to
about
work on
this,
it.
and now I'm not excited about it.
And then he was like, I don't know what to do with my life anymore.
That's so heartbreaking.
It is, and like
in those situations,
I tried to make sure in the field everything was good, but you're rushing to do stuff and you're trying to like make sure everything's good, and then you can
Yeah.
just have something like that. Or like one of our cameras, we have an external mic, and sometimes you just forget to turn it on. So like I recorded this
Yeah.
whole thing like for 10 minutes I was talking. There's no audio on it. I
Some
can't
of the
save
best
it.
on-camera work has been when we've recorded it with no mic on.
It's the
I'm like, wow, I
practice
finally
session,
nailed that one. That one
Yeah.
sounded just the most professional and excited yet. And then he's like, oh, mic wasn't turned on.
That's how you know there's something wrong, is the take was too good. You're like, the
That's
take was
true.
too
Yeah.
good. Let's check. Let's check to make
It's got to
sure.
be a bit rough around the edges. We're usually battling wind in this country. It's the
Oh
problem.
yeah.
Yeah.
Whenever we've seen, like, we went the other day to see a desert wheatear that was in the UK. So that should be somewhere in the Sahara or Central
Oh,
Asia.
that's cool.
And it was on the coast in Devon,
Yeah.
and it was wet through.
There's like
So-
sideways rain. The
Yeah.
wind's blowing you over.
You're on a
trying to
cliff top.
record it.
And like you had like a coat made to look like an Eskimo, and we were like fighting against the wind and rain, and we were about to give up because it was foggy as well, no visibility. We were short of time, so it's like one of those things that this is going to be a waste of video. Like oh my, the worst
But
thing.
this is not a good gamble because it was my decision to go for it as well.
Yeah,
And you sat there being blown over, and it turned up. It was really
it did.
good.
Yeah, we found some other birders who'd seen it.
Oh, nice.
And then it came out of the bush. But if you have a look at the video, it's not the most recent one; it's the one before. It's just like a wet mess. This bird is.
Trying to film that, and the speaking was terrible, wasn't it?
Oh no, it was horrendous trying to talk, and it's like we travel kind of light, so I literally take my camera and I use my phone for the speaking bits, and that's it really. So I don't have any external mics or anything like that. The more I keep thinking, the more I take it's the more to carry back around, but also the more to go wrong,
Yeah.
as you mentioned with your speaky bit.
Okay.
So kind of we travel pretty light, but the drawback with that somewhat is that the videos aren't quite as polished, but the benefit of it is they're very real.
Yeah, you're getting raw footage.
So you are getting exactly what happened in the rawest sense.
That's
There
what
it
we
is.
try to do as well, is we want the experience to be what the experience was. So if it was a miserable experience, we want to try to let that shine through and not
Yeah.
just always, oh, it's a great day out here. Sometimes it's a bad day out there. And I want
Yeah.
people to know that it was a bad day.
We include quite a lot of dips, birds we miss. There's one recently that I haven't included yet. It might be in a future video soon, depending on footage, if I've got any positive footage. But I went to go and try and see a bufflehead
Which was
that
down
was-
the road.
that was not far away. It was about
I was
40.
telling them we could ship him one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
if
if
you
you
want
could,
one, we
yeah.
got them. We got plenty
I'd be
Oh.
very grateful.
It would be, yeah, just send one our way.
for
'Cause
the aviary.
Yeah.
I rushed off to see it. I saw it reported. I drove down the coast, but you have to park up and walk about 20 minutes to a hide. Whilst I was walking there were people walking back going, yes, it's showing, it's showing, it's showing. And I got within, I could see the hide. And somebody reported on a WhatsApp group, it's just flown. And then
That's
it
the
seen-
worst.
And I was just like, the words are said, honestly. I was absolutely livid.
Devastating.
So I ended up going back the next day just in the hope that it had shown. It didn't. It hasn't been seen since.
I was
So,
telling you last time we talked about our Tundra Bean Goose experience, how we drove to
Yeah.
Iowa, which was, what was it, Derek, like 6 or 7 hours?
Yeah, at least. And I remember because normally like you could just stay overnight, but I think you had work, which is another thing about the job. We couldn't just get a hotel. So we had to drive back, and we were doing this fitness. We were doing 75 hard, just like this mental toughness challenge too.
Yeah.
Like part of it is you have to do two 45-minute workouts, and one of them has to be outside. So we got back like way late at night, and we had to do like a night walk for our fitness activity. So we're just like delusional,
Jeez.
hallucinating. I thought this like stack of mailboxes was like a moose in the neighborhood, and it was like this weird fog. It was definitely a memorable experience, but
It was a wild time, but
we
the first
missed it
time we
the
just
first time.
completely dipped on it.
yeah, and then the
and
second time
we
we
were-
felt lucky to get it.
Well, we
And
made
we
an entire
had
video
the
about
same
our first
thing.
experience dipping on it. And fortunately, we went back not that long after and got it. So while I was editing the first video, I already knew that the second time we got it. So it was a lot less miserable with that knowledge. I think if we just dipped on it the second time, it would have just been depressing having to edit that video.
Have you guys ever, like, you've obviously had nemesis birds, but have you had any rarities that you've been through, or been to try and see numerous times and just failed every time?
I'm sure we have.
There's been some that were like nemesis birds for a while that we finally got. One of which is kind of similar to your bufflehead experience. For me, was the Barrow's Goldeneye. And it was the kind of thing where we showed up and the guy was like, it just flew. Like, it literally just flew off. We're like, is there any chance it sticks around? He's like, no, that thing's way gone. And it was on like Lake Michigan, so it could literally go anywhere. And I specifically remember, like, before me and Ryan went to go see it, I'm like, let me get a bowl of cereal first. And so, like, me
won't go
making
anywhere.
that decision probably was the difference between seeing it or not. I did get to see one, like, last winter, I think. So that was nice, but
Do we have any that we just straight up missed
Currently?
on though? Yeah.
I'm sure we do. I mean,
There's
we didn't see
not one that really comes to mind. There's a bunch that we've missed on, but then got them in the future, or
Yeah.
got them the first time and missed the second time.
or it's
ones
like
that
you're in
just-
a area and you try to see it once and don't. Like, I wouldn't call that a nemesis. Like
We-
at
we
Rocky
had
Mountain,
Chat for a
Ptarmigan.
while was like that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, ptarmigan we tried to find, but we just were kind of in the area and couldn't locate them. And it seems like there are a lot of birds in the United States where they're always there, but if you see them or not is just the luck of the draw. So there's this park in Colorado called
Rocky Mountain
Rocky
National
Mountain
Park.
National Park, and if you go up to the top where the snowy peaks are, you can find these ptarmigan. And people report them kind of regularly, but there's so many people there that it's not really a true indicator of how often they're seen. So you
Yeah.
just go there and you either see them or you don't see them pretty much. There's not a whole lot you can do if they're not showing themselves, and we tried for them and couldn't get them. So
We've had a
missed
couple historically, haven't we? We've had, one of our first nemesis birds was the firecrest, which is a bit like one of your kinglet,
Yeah.
and it's very, very pretty bird. And we even got to the point where we joked that they didn't really exist. Anyway, Kaylee saw one before me.
I
We,
did.
we were birding somewhere, and she was like, she was in tears.
Oh.
We got it on video. She was like emotional because she seen it, and then there was me at the other side just fuming that I didn't see it.
Yeah, that's the worst.
Then I've seen 3 this year. The other one was water pipit, but we got that off the list.
It was water pipper. Getting water pipper on film was the
No, we
biggest
saw one. We
problem.
just couldn't get the thing on film.
Mm.
So we had to go to a sewage treatment works.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah, which is
He takes me to all the nicest places.
yeah.
Oh yeah, that's the best part
So
of it.
romantic.
The sewage
Well,
plant.
Kaylee, I was gonna say, I feel like you're a big driver of like, get like you're like, we can sleep in the van and like we should go take this trip. Like, I feel like you
Yeah.
got
She's
really
got ideas,
into
but-
it. Yeah.
I come up with all the wacky ideas.
She goes, now let me pitch this to you, Nigel.
That's what it is.
What normally happens is I come up with an idea and I tell him I've got this idea and I'm still thinking it through. And then I pitch the idea to him and then I expect him to know exactly what I'm on about and deal with it.
I'm the solutions guy. So yeah, she comes up with the ideas, and I have to try and
Make it
come up,
work.
make it work.
Yeah.
Which sometimes works and sometimes doesn't.
But I've got some wacky ideas and it does work though.
Oh yeah,
Half of this thing is just like,
even the
wacky
YouTube channel,
idea.
most of it is your brainchild.
Yeah.
Really, it's
I call it my brainchild and he's the one that's doing all the editing and everything else.
yeah.
Until your kids do the editing for you, in which case everyone will be happy.
I should do that. I should
Yeah.
so do that.
Try and
I'll
teach.
tell Olivia she's not allowed to go into hairdressing next year. She has to do video editing.
Problem is, I'm a bit OCD about this stuff.
Oh,
You know, you look at your video and you go, oh, God, that doesn't look quite right. I've got to. And then do you like? I'm always like proof watching. I get Kaylee to proof watch the video
mhm.
because often she comes up with like objections during the video to like how we've done something or that's wrong or that bit's too quiet or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're my biggest critic when I'm doing video editing.
Absolutely.
I
So-
especially have Derek watch my videos, and sometimes, you get to a point where you've worked on it for so long that you're like, I'm too close to the project now, and I can't even see if anything's wrong with it. You're just like,
Yeah.
well, this is what it is, and I'll have him watch it, and he's like, this whole part was wrong. This whole part needs to be removed, and I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. It's gonna be what it is.
Yeah, do you ever say like, no, it's not happening? I've spent too much time on this. This is going out.
There'll
Even if
be
people
stuff
don't
where
watch
he's
it.
like, he'll be like, it'll be better if we added this. I'm like, no, I can't. I need to just upload this and have it off my plate.
Yeah.
I did remember one bird though that was kind of an ultimate nemesis bird for a while. We were in South Texas and there was something called a gray-collared Bacard, which was super rare. It was
Oh
like one
yeah.
of the single digit state records, and it was at this one specific park that you'd go to. And at some point
I
in
think I
time,
saw
people,
that video.
yeah, you probably did.
Yeah.
It was every day for a while it was seen by tons of people, but then it got to the point where it would show up once for a number of minutes or seconds, and that was about the only time you would see it throughout the day. So we
Oh,
would be there, and then someone would be like, "Just saw the Bacard," and like the fact that they said that meant it was too late because you would go over there and then it would just not be there. So that happened two or three times. There's one time we were all waiting there with a bunch of birders for this thing to show up, and then someone waltzes over and they just go, "Just had the Bacard over there not too long ago," and they had a picture of it on their camera, and we all go over there and it's gone, and it doesn't show up the rest of the day. And then
oh,
eventually we finally got it, but I think it took 3 days of going to that same park and spending a lot of time there to get it.
oh, that's
That's
soul
tough.
destroying.
It is tough. The thing is,
That's
that's
birding.
quite common within birding. Do you find now? I don't know if this is your interview. I'm starting to interview you now.
Hey, that's
But
fine.
do you find in America with it being so big that if you go to see a rare bird, people still recognize you? Do you
Yeah,
get
it depends on the place. Like, because we've done a lot of videos in South Texas. So I feel like we get recognized in South Texas quite a bit. Wisconsin. But I was in Tennessee randomly and I met some people that knew about the channel. So I feel like just because
that?
I mean, we have like over 700 videos about different stuff. So I feel
Yeah,
like a lot of people, if they're into birds, they probably encountered at least something, on the internet
yeah,
about it. Um, but yeah, I mean, the US just being so expansive, like you never know who you're gonna run into and where. So like people will travel to different states just for a little bit, or they'll like, take a trip to one of the hot spots over there. So there's just so much to see and do.
in the UK, it's quite interesting because even though we don't have the same following you guys get, we get recognized a lot, and I think it's
It's
because
quite a
it's
close knit community, though, isn't it? Maybe.
Yeah, do you guys know do you know all the birders in the UK? Does
No,
everybody know each
no,
other? No?
no.
no, but
You start recognizing people's faces though,
yeah,
and you'll bird next to people you've birded next to
Mm.
multiple times before.
In the
you've got
trenches.
familiar faces.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
they know a lot of them know my name. I've got no idea what their name is, but they'll know who I am. And it's a really good community if you get
yeah.
on a really good Twitch like that.
You do recognise quite a few people. It is does take some getting used to turning up at a rare bird and somebody going,
Did you?
"Oh, it's you," and that took a bit of getting used to. And also, we have people taking photographs with us, which is quite odd.
Yeah, I like when people do that. They act often like it's a inconvenience, but I'm like, that's fine. Let's do it. I don't
How we
care
do
if you
it.
want to take a picture or something. It's cool.
So with
Yeah,
with the UK not being, massive in size, I would feel like when a rare bird shows up, like everyone would just be there. Is that how it is? Or is it still
somewhat.
kind of like,
Not every time. It depends on what people are doing. Most people have jobs, don't they? So they can't get to places.
Depends where it is and when it is. The big
Yeah.
limitations is a lot of rare birds show up on islands. So
oh,
you get them showing up on the Scilly Islands, which is off Cornwall, or in Shetland, and that like Shetland's a nightmare to go to
Mm.
because you've got to get a plane, or alternatively, you've got to get a boat, and I do not have sea legs. So
But
the,
if a mega turns up somewhere and it's close to a weekend, you'll see most people that you've seen before at that Twitch.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna say if a mega shows up, I'm taking him anyways. We sedate
Yeah.
him, we put him on the boat, and we're there.
Oh
I
yeah,
think
he's had it. I keep threatening to
we
to
have
actually like knock him out so I can go on a pelagic trip.
we you had me on a boat to the bridal turn,
I
didn't you?
did
We had a
manage
bridal
that.
turn, and I was green on the way back, but it was worth it. I've been on a couple of decent boat trips. I have
Like
to.
it.
I don't enjoy. It's a horrible feeling. I don't know if any of you two
I've,
encounter seasickness, but
Not
it's
yet.
it's grim.
I've even had an offer. Harry offered to come with me, didn't he, on the pelagic trip?
Oh yeah.
So I'm going to leave him behind and go on it with Harry, I think.
There's another bird YouTuber we did a video with recently, Harry. Um, he's a good guy. Yeah, he's offered to go on a
He's offered
pelagic.
to go with me, so I reckon I'll do that and just leave him.
Yeah,
It's
but
fine.
you'll get a load of lifers, and I'll be
You
jealous.
won't.
I won't like it. It'll bug me. I'll just have
There's
to.
a couple that we know who go birding together, and they have a rule where if one of them doesn't see it, but the other one does, they can't count it. They just have a shared eBird list that they keep together.
Oh.
we've got a shared eBird year list, but I've got three. I've got three birds this year that I've seen, or lifers this year that I've added, and you've got one that I haven't got.
Yeah, it's because of the kids. So I'm in work all day, and then the kids have activities, so I can't always go. And you go, don't you, instead?
Yeah, if I can, if I get an early finish from a job or whatever, I'll rush up the coast or go like within an hour or an hour and a half away to see a bird. Or alternatively, if I get a day in the week that I'm not working and Kaylee's doing all the school runs and whatnot, like I freed up a day last week and went down to South Wales to get the Scops out and whatnot.
Are you kind of like, oh, really sorry you can't go, wish you were coming? Or are you like, sucks you can't go. Looks like I'm gonna get to see the owl and you're not.
Pretty much that one, yeah.
I would like Kaylee, like in the whole scheme of things, is quite new to birding, really.
Really, yeah.
But you've got into it quickly, and her British list is like only about a dozen birds behind mine in a few years. And your knowledge is like you could identify pretty much any bird in the UK and a whole bunch of them by sound.
Yeah, I'm better at sound than what he is.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
So
he's learning. He's learning.
Get there eventually.
Yeah. Well, some birds can be annoying with sound because there can be two or three birds that sound very similar sometimes.
I heard that the warblers over there are really drab, like the wood warblers. They all kind of look the same.
It's different though. Your warblers, like I've seen a few of your warblers, and they are more brightly coloured. We had a myrtle warbler over in the UK a couple of years ago.
That's like the holy grail of UK birding.
Yeah.
It's like American warblers,
Pretty much,
right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but like chiff chaffs, willow warblers, garden warblers, they're all pretty similar looking. Really, you had a willow warbler in the United States a while back. I remember seeing a report of it.
I think that might have been Alaska.
Maybe you had a warbler.
Alaska gets tons of crazy stuff, and it's like basically, it's totally separate from the lower 48. So,
yeah,
as much as I'd love to go see all that stuff, it's tough to get to.
I've been lucky enough in the past before I met Kelly to visit Costa Rica. So and I saw Blackburnian warbler, Tennessee warbler, yellow warbler. I can't remember a couple of others as well. But I saw
we're quite spoiled with our warblers and hummingbirds and all that stuff.
Yeah,
our warblers aren't bad though. Our warblers get a bad rep, but they're all lovely.
I like wood warbler.
Yeah.
I think wood warblers are great. And Dartford warbler. There's a warbler. If you want to Google something that's an interesting looking warbler, Dartford warbler. They're really lovely.
How do you spell it?
Dart, DARTFORD warbler.
That's exactly the kind of name I would expect from a UK warbler species.
Oh yeah, yeah. But that doesn't look like a lot of the other warblers. And
this is a warbler. Like I don't know.
That's it.
Yeah,
it looks like a bush tit.
Yeah, no, they're great. They are.
Yeah, it's a warbler.
Is it actually in that family though, like the warbler family?
Yeah. It's related to some more other southern European warblers like subalpine warbler.
Huh.
But it's a beautiful bird. You get them in the southeast of the UK generally, but the resident, they're not. I don't think they're really migratory, so you can see them pretty much all year round.
It is cool. It does not look like our warblers at all.
No. Just search up yellow-throated warbler once. Just give them a little taste.
I feel
we
bad.
did see magnolia warbler in the UK.
That's a good one. That's a pretty one.
We also had, at the same time, there was a big storm that blew in.
Oh, look at that one.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Yeah, we need one of them. Send one of them suckers our way.
We'll just put a bunch of different things in a box for you and we'll send it over. And then people will be like, how did all these get in the same part of the UK?
We just won't say anything. It's fine.
Can you send a cardinal with them? Because I'd love to see. Probably
could. We can also send you back some house sparrows.
Oh, we've got enough of them. Starlings as well.
No, you don't have enough. We'll send you more.
Some people have said the house sparrow's declining over by you guys.
Yes, yeah.
That's what we hear. Yeah.
It's declining in England. Here. It's declining in England, but not in Scotland or Wales. And we're in Wales here. We're just over the border from England. So
interesting.
I think we have some more house sparrows than the guys in England.
So on
Very
a
good.
daily basis, like in your backyard,
Yeah.
what birds do you guys see just as like common backyard birds?
So house sparrow, starling, blue tit, great tit,
That's cool.
coal tit, which is not a super common bird. We get them here. Chaffinch, and then we get a couple of corvid species. We get jackdaw and magpie, and then collared doves and wood pigeons. We get
Okay,
loads.
cool.
You might
Pigeons.
even get a jay in the front garden.
If you're lucky, you'll get a jay. Yeah,
Yeah.
That's not super common though. We have had a siskin in the tree once, which was
Hmm.
quite nice. That's not a common bird in the garden. Oh, robins, blackbirds. Yeah, robins and blackbirds.
European
robins, very
robins.
good.
Yeah.
Say that
very-
again.
Yeah, your European robin's very different than
Yeah.
our American robin.
Yeah, they're one of the more bold winter birds. They become almost tame in winter. So I've fed robins out of my hand before a few times.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, interesting.
They are, yeah, and they're pretty. They can be a bit nasty to each other as well. They're quite territorial. But yeah, they're a lovely bird. So yeah, that's what we'd get. I want to hear your list now, though.
So before he says that, one fun fact about the particular state we live in, Wisconsin, is it has the
Yeah.
only breeding population I'm aware of great tits in the
Oh, right.
country. Yeah. So people come from all over the country to this little town in Wisconsin to get the great tits that live there.
were they introduced?
They were. There was something that happened in Chicago where birds were either intentionally or unintentionally released. We also have European goldfinches for the same reason in the area.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's nice.
Yeah.
They're quite a common bird here. European
They're
dolphin.
pretty.
Yeah, they're cool.
They're lovely, aren't they?
Yeah.
We used to keep them in the aviary. We
That's
used to
cool.
have a pair of goldfinch. I went through a stage of keeping some British finches, so I had bullfinch, siskin, common red poll,
That's cool.
goldfinch, and greenfinch in the aviary. But I haven't got a lot of the smaller birds anymore because we had a bit of a rat problem at one point. So
Mm.
Oh,
we're now down to chickens, pheasants, and a duck, pretty much. But
gotcha.
yeah, I want to hear your garden birds.
So we have American robin, which is our state bird in Wisconsin. Blue jay is pretty common. Northern cardinal. In the winter, we get dark-eyed junco, American
Black-capped chickadee.
goldfinch, black-capped chickadee, house sparrow, starling, mourning dove, house finch. It's supposed to be a good year for winter finches, so some of those might move down into the U.S. this year. What else am I missing for common backyard birds?
I mean, that's
I
mostly
said
it.
cardinal, right? Yeah, cardinal's pretty common for us.
That's a bird I'd love to see. I don't know if many wild cardinals have ever showed up in the UK. I think there might have been a couple, but I think they thought they were probably escapees. We've seen dark-eyed junco last year, though, in the
Oh,
UK.
yeah.
Quite nice. But with this slate-coloured type.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's interesting. We
hairy
have the
downy
slate-colored mostly.
woodpecker, red-bellied woodpecker. In the summer, you can get Baltimore oriole, rose-breasted grosbeak, all in the
Ruby-throated
backyard.
hummingbird.
Are
Yeah.
you too
Cooper's
far?
hawk.
Are you too far south for evening grosbeak?
There was one that I just saw in Milwaukee the other day. So they come down here in good years to certain areas, but you can get them annually if you go north during the winter.
I'd like to see an evening grosbeak.
They're beautiful. They're a gorgeous
Yeah.
finch. Pine
They remind
grosbeak
me-
also really pretty.
They remind me a little bit of a hawfinch in the UK.
I love bullfinches.
Yeah, they're quite a rare.
That's one of my favourites.
I don't know if you're aware of that bird, but it's a bulky finch.
Yeah, they're cool.
Finch.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a big.
it's a bulky finch, really big bill, but it reminds me of
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It is similar kind of build to an evening grosbeak. I think evening grosbeak looks a little like taller, if that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
This
It's a
almost
little
looks
Yeah,
like
these
you
stout.
crossed a Bohemian waxwing with a evening grosbeak.
yeah. I love
That
that.
that blue on the feather tips is nice on
Yeah.
some of these that you can see.
They're a very pretty bird, but they're not common at all. They're
And
very
they're very
localized.
shy as well.
Yeah, they're
They're
very
very shy
localized.
birds.
So that's a bird I really like to see. Another finch I like to see in the UK is brambling. But
Oh,
again,
yeah.
Oh yeah,
those are
that's a
cool.
big rarity here. Like if one shows up, it's a big deal.
Yeah.
yeah, they're a nice. They're not common here, but there's a few places nearby we know where to find them.
Yeah.
Clonbrennig's one of them.
Yeah.
They're a beautiful bird,
They're gorgeous.
really nice one. Yeah, but they don't look like the really dark ones. They look like the winter. Oh, there's a chaffinch in there. There's a common bird.
You guys are
Um,
better than Google.
Yeah. But bramblings are lovely. That's one of my favourite winter birds. Do you get snow? But you get snow buntings over there, don't you?
We
In the
do.
winter.
It's funny because you actually drive on snow-covered roads, and they'll like to feed in areas where the snow plows have pushed away the snow and opened the earth up. So if people spread manure in their fields or just have seeds on the side of the road, you'll find these big flocks of them as you just drive. So you just kind of drive on the roads, and you'll find these snow bunting flocks flittering away.
We have
I'd
to go.
like that. That'd be cool.
Yeah, that would
That'd
be nice.
really cool.
We have to go by the coast because a lot of them show up on the coast.
They're
So-
really pretty. I love their winter plumage with the caramel. They remind me of a caramel
Yeah.
drizzled ice cream sundae.
Excellent. We had a Lapland bunt. Oh, I had a Lapland bunting down on the Wirral as well.
Did you?
I had snow bunting and Lapland bunting on the same day. Lapland buntings, you call them Lapland longspur,
Yeah.
Gotcha.
but they're pretty rare for here. You get them a few every year, but they're not common at all. So that was a really nice bird to.
I told him this last time, Derek. He was pretty set on Costa Rica, but I think he should come to the United States.
I mean, Costa Rica is incredible. Have you ever been to the U.S. to bird?
No,
It's
No.
pretty cool too. I mean, Costa Rica, I think, has more biodiversity, and you're going to be in a more tropical climate and beaches
Yeah.
and mountains and all that. But I mean, the U.S.
Yeah.
is definitely an experience.
I'd like to do it. Just
Yeah, for
even
sure.
to see some of your more common birds. Like I'd like to see, and you might find it really wacky. I'd love to see a ring-billed gull.
We could
I
do
don't,
that.
I
Yeah.
don't find that
Yeah.
weird at all because I would want to see all the common stuff in the UK. So
Yeah.
whenever
Yeah.
I go somewhere else, even in the US, if it's common there, you can still freak out about it. That's what makes it fun.
Like I when I was in Gambia, I remember one of the first times I went to. I've been 4 times now, and I had a guide over there that I've used every time. A guy called Musa Mane. He's a brilliant guy, and every time we saw there was a bird called an Abyssinian roller, and it's turquoisey
Great name.
and absolutely beautiful bird, but they're like super common. So I was taking photographs of every single one, and he was almost like snubbing me, saying, "Oh yeah, they're just really common." But this is like
He
a
did that with vultures, though, didn't he? It was just another vulture. And I was like, yeah, but it's a vulture.
oh yeah, there were,
Don't let them steal your joy.
oh
no,
no,
absolutely.
That thing's
How
cool. I'd be
I
pumped every
wouldn't
time
care
I saw
how
that.
common that was.
How cool is
yeah,
that?
that's super common over in Gambia. But
I would
it's
be taking so many videos of that.
yeah, no doubt. Isn't that absolutely gorgeous?
Beautiful.
So they were around every corner. There was also hooded vultures there that, on a world scale, they're critically endangered. But on the Gambia, you just walk. They're on lampposts, and you're walking along the beach, and there's hooded vultures on the beach. And for me, that was like
Honestly, how
just
cool
a
is
crazy. Like that bird is critically endangered globally. That's probably
Really
the rarest
hooked
bird
bill
we've
at the
got.
end there. Like
Yeah,
that
no
thing
kidding.
really
Yeah.
curves down.
It's a small vulture. Like I've seen when I was in Costa Rica, your turkey vultures and black vultures, and it's similar in size. Whereas, like seeing bearded vultures, or we've seen griffon vultures in France, they're
Yeah.
enormous.
We had a bearded vulture in the UK.
That bearded vulture,
Yeah.
that was just vast.
Yeah.
Like I saw a photo of that against a buzzard, which is an everyday bird of prey here, but you think that's quite big, and then against the bearded vulture, it was just dwarfed by this enormous bearded vulture. But
Did you see king vulture in Costa Rica?
no, I went with someone who wasn't a birder. So although I did some birding, I wasn't able to kind of, let the taps off and really go birding. So I did a little bit, and I went to see Resplendent Quetzal and
Nice. That's awesome.
birds, and that was nice. But I wasn't there for long enough, and I was only in one specific place, which was Monteverde.
Which is a really big shame because it means he has to take me back there now.
So I
That's a shame.
Oh
want to-
no.
That's a
Yeah.
Exactly, you get it.
So that's the dream, really, to go back. So I'm hoping Kaylee's got a big birthday coming up in 2027. So
Yeah.
if I can find some way of selling my soul and affording it,
Yeah, but it is a big birthday.
it is a big birthday, no doubt.
Who needs to sell your soul when you can just sell plasma?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Sell something. I've probably got a couple of £1,000 worth of guitars sitting on my wall, but I don't want to sell them. So, but
I think I figured it out. You have to charge people to come to the aviary.
To see Donald.
to see Donald the duck. Yeah,
You have to get more birds in the aviary and then charge people to see them.
yeah. I'll figure out a way to do it. I need
We need a rarity to turn up in the back garden.
Yeah,
You just need someone to
charge
send you a
people.
box with a couple buffalo heads in them and then some
yeah,
cardinals and blue
that,
jays.
yeah. That
Yeah,
sounds good. That sounds good.
we'll have enough people through the house then.
Or if YouTube guys, any of you YouTube people are watching, YouTube needs to pay more.
That's true. I was telling
Yeah,
Derek this the other day before we even started. I remembered that there was this thing that happened where the creator revenue was cut severely before we really even started on YouTube. And I was
yeah,
like, I wonder what it used to be like. Yeah, how much
yeah.
more did they actually offer before? Because people were like, I can't make a living anymore on this. And I don't think it hasn't gone up since then.
No, no. I got chatting to a guy who's in the UK who is living off YouTube, but um, but I can't imagine he's living well off of it because
Yeah.
he's getting he's probably got a similar amount of subs to you, but the money isn't off the subs; it's off people watching
Mhm.
and the adverts and whatnot, isn't it? So it's really difficult to say. But
Yeah, that was a
retired
question
guys,
I was going to ask you. Do you have a lot of female birders over there?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the numbers actually show that there's more female birders than male birders.
wow, it's not like that in the UK.
No,
It's growing, I think.
there is quite a few female birders. Don't get me wrong, but sometimes you can be the only female stood there. That's
Yeah,
happened quite a few times. It's just me,
I mean, I feel like
and
because
at other times
oh
there's
god.
there could be a lot more women, can't there? So
yeah,
the balance is a little bit off here still, I find.
Yeah, I feel like when we guide in South Texas, it's like mostly women there, I feel like,
wow,
who are
I like that.
participants.
I think
Um,
it seems to be there's different demographics that do different things in birding as well. You know, like the crowd that's taking photos is different than the crowd that's twitching is different than the crowd that's backyard bird watching. So I think that may shape it a little bit as well because I've heard people be like, "Oh, birding's such a male dominated thing." But then you're like, I don't know if that's true because when I go out, there's probably more women than men that I see birding.
there's
So
also a
I don't
lot
know.
of young homeschooled people.
That's true.
There's a
There's
big
a
hobby
young
in the US
homeschool
with
contingency.
homeschoolers because their schedule is pretty free. Like they can move their
yeah.
classes or whatever they do. So like I feel like we have a lot of young, like really good homeschooled birders.
We don't have a lot of homeschooling over here, do we? So
Not a massive amount though. Although I think the person who's top on eBird in the UK at the moment is a young lad,
Oh,
and
so he might be homeschooled.
I think he's
Fair enough.
He
autistic,
probably is homeschooled.
and he's. I saw him as I was going to the Bufflehead. I saw him coming back
Oh,
with a smile on his face.
devastating.
But I think I'm not sure what the story is, but I've seen his posts and he's getting out most days birding.
That's crazy, isn't it?
So
You
what
gotta
we
be homeschooled to do that kind of thing.
yeah
Yeah, you've
We
got to
would-
be flexible, haven't you? Quite flexible.
yeah we were trying to get in the top 10 on eBird in the UK this year, though, weren't we? And I think we are about number 8 or 9.
Do a lot of
Nine.
people do big years in the UK? Like a UK big year?
Few people do.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you speak to a lot of people and they've got their lists. They they're not off by heart, don't they?
yeah. There's quite a lot of people who are like. There's one local bird, Alex. He doesn't do big years, but he's almost everywhere we go. We went down south to see lesser crested tern recently, which is a rarity,
He's there.
and he was there, but he's had a lot of rarities. Like he's a teacher, and he just gets like how he gets out as much as he does birding.
Class, we're going on a field
Absolutely
trip.
no
Yeah, field
idea.
trips.
Yeah, it's mental. But I see him quite a lot birding around the air, and he hasn't got kids, but
His partner birds as well.
yeah, she birds as well. That's probably
That helps.
why he gets out
Yeah, she's
quite
a
as
big
much as he
bird.
does.
Yeah.
But he's got a massive British list.
Yeah.
I think he's been doing it for a while, and he travels a bit as well because he's not long been to Georgia, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Traveling and somewhere else exotic too. But
I was gonna ask you guys, what's the situation with the rose ring parakeets over there?
oh goodness me, I got a lot of stick for putting a video out on rosewing parakeets.
We've
lot
got,
of-
we've got them in Manchester.
Yeah,
and-
we've got them. There's massive amounts of them in the south. They are spreading north.
We had one not far from us. Didn't we?
Yeah, there's one in Mold, which
Yeah.
is not far from where we live.
So, non-native parrot species, I'm assuming pet trade release presumed.
Oh, there's a lot of stories, but excuse me. Yeah, escapees or released birds. But there's also Alexandrian parakeets in the UK as well.
Interesting.
There's some of them near Sheffield. I did a video, but
Wasn't there some sort of rumor in the 1800s when they had enough of the birds to just let them go?
There was some
There's-
talk about somebody to do with Jimi Hendrix or something.
Yeah,
in the UK and letting them. I can't remember the story, but
there's lots of stories behind it.
but ultimately there's plenty of them here, and the numbers are increasing. Every time I put a video out about invasive species, it's done well, but I've had a bit of pushback on it, saying that I enjoy watching them, and people go, "Well, they're so invasive."
You can. I feel like you could still enjoy them even if they're non-native. You
Well,
know, you don't have to be shaking your fist, be like, "How dare you come into the UK?" Like I think you
Making
could
small
appreciate
parrot
the
jails with me. No, I I responded with, I actually responded on a video basically saying, yes, they are invasive. If they're affecting our native birds, possibly in some ways, but not in others. But I do enjoy watching them because they're entertaining and colourful. And that was pretty much how I framed the video.
And then people came to your house with pitchforks and fire.
Luckily, they don't know where we live. But
released them from that aviary you have, didn't you?
Yeah.
If the story gets back that you let go all of the rose-ring parrots, that'd be amazing.
We do get pushback. I'm sure you do as well. Sometimes get a bit of like negative.
Well,
feedback.
the bigger the audience reach and the more you grow, the more people will dislike your content in general, because it reaches people, and there's so many people on the internet that just, are grumpy folks.
And a lot of them have opinions.
That have opinions.
Oh yeah, everyone's got an opinion.
Yeah.
There was a guy one time on a video about, what was it? Was it avian flu? He kept saying that we were censoring him. And I don't know if he was like not commenting right or something, but he kept saying he was being censored and we weren't doing anything to his comments. And then he eventually deleted all his comments. So he self-censored. And we were confused by that.
I've had two memorable comments, really memorable ones. The first one is, every Christmas I do a compilation of the rarities I've seen that year. And I had one guy who commented that I was lying, and he'd been birding for such and such an amount of years and not seen this many rarities, and we shouldn't be lying to our audience.
Sounds like he's just a bad birder.
Yeah.
I was like, for a fact, I've seen all these. I was there.
You're like, I've seen them with my eyes.
Yeah,
like, of course you'll say that.
And the other one, which I found absolutely hilarious, was the flat earther who commented on the video. I made a video about Leicester white-fronted geese, saying they were globally vulnerable. And his problem wasn't with anything to do with the geese. It's the fact that I mentioned that they were globally vulnerable.
That's the most incredible comment ever. You should print that out and frame it and put it on your wall.
It was my response that I should print out as well, which is basically along the lines of, yes, it is a shame about these birds being declining, regardless of what shape you think the planet is.
It'd be funny if you stuck in the words "the Earth is round" in every video after that for a week or two. Just like going to find rare birds in the UK. The Earth is round.
I had another one that I just remembered. Dan, the guy, I had a grammar police on, a guy who said, I can't watch past this video because you've missed out the hyphens between like bird names. And I responded with, "Oh, thanks for the comment. I appreciate you watching the video. Shame you didn't get very far. You didn't see the dark-eyed junco with the hyphen in it."
Yeah, definitely just the more you grow, the more people will start to try to be nitpicky about your videos and stuff. I remember when we first started, it was like when we were smaller, all the comments were nice and friendly and supportive. And then as you get bigger, you get more haters. That's just the way it goes.
You just ignore it, don't you? I do anyway.
You got to try. Yeah, sometimes people say things that are just so blatantly wrong that you're like, oh, I don't know if I can just let that go.
That's what he's like.
No, I have to. I have to sit back and think about something witty,
That's when you guys need to use the proofing. Be like, hey, I wrote this comment. Do you think this is okay?
Police my comments.
Absolutely. Sometimes that needs to be done.
Yeah, she's like, Nigel, no.
Nigel, this is not a good idea. It's my favourite word.
Fair enough.
Funny, isn't it?
Yeah. It's a strange place, is YouTube.
It's great.
Yeah, when people don't have to be in front of you and say something, that's when, they think they can just say whatever they want and there's no repercussions. I'm sure if you had like a group of people in front of your face, there would not be nearly as many like things said as are on the internet.
No, and overwhelmingly, when we've met people, they've been very nice, and generally most comments we get are very positive as well.
Oh, I did have so in the US, like our state, the states around us, like they're kind of known for different things, or like the people are kind of known for different things. Like, Southern hospitality, like in the Southern US, people are supposed to be nice, they'll cook you food. Do you guys have like stereotypes of the countries around you,
Yes.
or like people from the UK? Let's
Even counties. There's America's such an enormous place, although it changes. In the UK, you can go 3 hours down the road, and the accent is almost like you can't understand the accent, and they call bread rolls different things. So it's Britain's got a strange place for like local. There's local dialects, accents. It's slang changes, what things are called changes, the food changes, landscape changes massively over a small area.
Well, that's just changing counties.
That's just changing counties.
I wanna hear more about this for sure. Ryan's unfortunately got to leave for work, so we're gonna say bye to him. But
all right,
guys.
Bye, Ryan. Really nice
Thanks
to
for
meet
joining
you.
us.
Yes, I'm sure you guys will continue to have a fantastic conversation.
Yeah, I'll see you next time.
Bless him.
All right, what else you guys got?
Jeez, what have we got in different like? We've actually stereotyped some counties a bit, probably unfairly, actually. Really, like the roads in Devon are too thin for starters. There's one. We've just been to Devon, and we took.
Well, you guys are driving on the wrong
back.
side. That's why.
Well, do you know?
It really is thin, though.
Yeah, the roads. We took the wing mirror off the van at one point.
Oh, dang!
Clipped a bush.
If you drive through Scotland, it changes every.
Yeah, Scotland's amazing for scenery.
45 minutes, Scotland changes. There's something else to see.
And then the East Coast is super flat.
Yeah.
So
that's like Holland.
It's a bit like Holland, yeah. But do you know why we drive on that side of the road?
What?
Jousting. To keep your right hand.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, it's from the days of jousting. So you had your right hand free.
You guys ever joust other vehicles out there?
No.
No.
But you could if you had to.
I could if I wanted to, yeah. But yeah, no. So yeah, there is a lot of changes, and there's places we go to every year to see specific species that you can't really see elsewhere.
Yeah.
Like near us, there's a place where within kind of half an hour you can see black grouse, red grouse, windchat, cuckoo, hen harrier, and goshawk not far away. And they're species that are quite local.
Yeah, they're only up the road from us.
But they're like 15, 20 minutes away drive from here.
Those grouse seem cool. I'm
Black
a big grouse fan.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Black grouse. And you see them lecking. So it's where they do the lecks by the side of the road. You can view it from the car as well, which is amazing. You just drive up this road that's on like high moorland, and you look over, and the grouse are lecking. It's absolutely amazing to watch, and it's not far away from home.
No, we got this sometimes with the kids and just have fish and chips up there and watch it, don't we?
Yeah, that's really nice.
It's a good evening activity, isn't it?
Yeah, we always also, if we ever do this spring big day, we stay overnight up there, and we start there in the morning because you can pick up loads and loads of species for the big day up there.
Yeah,
it's a really nice place. And then we go down to Suffolk specifically. We've been there loads this year because there's been loads of rarities, but we go there usually in the spring to get nightingale, Dartford warbler. What else do we get down there? Oh, stone curlew, which is like Eurasian thickneck. We come stone curlew. I'm sure there's something else, but nightingale, they can be a nightmare. But yeah, there's a few species we go there specifically, woodlark as well. Yeah. But so there's places in the UK that are really good specifically for birds. Like the Southwest's great for searle bunting, which is a lovely species, but they don't live anywhere else in the UK. So you've got to go there to see them.
Yeah. If someone was visiting like from the US, what would be like the top 3 places they should go in the UK?
North Norfolk.
Yeah, Norfolk.
That's brilliant. East Yorkshire, like Spurn area, but I'd go in autumn. Mm-hmm. So there's a place called Spurn in East Yorkshire that's great for rarities in autumn. Yeah. It juts out into the sea a bit.
Yeah, and hits up all the RSPBs as well.
Yeah, and there's a few. And the other place I would say is Wirral.
Yeah.
Wirral's
Yeah,
good.
I'd agree.
Certain time of the year. So that's not far from where we live. So it's a bit of land that sticks out. There's the Mersey estuary where Liverpool is, and then there's the Dee estuary where Chester is, and there's a bit of land that sticks out. And certain times of the year that can be really, really good, especially after westerly storms. You get quite a lot of seabirds and shorebirds. It's pretty cool. I went there this year to get Leach's storm petrel.
Oh, that's cool. From shore.
They get from shore.
Nice.
In westerly storms, they get pushed into the Mersey estuary, and then as the tide goes back out, they try and get out. So you see them flying up the estuary. It was absolutely amazing. I'd never seen one before, but we're getting sandblasted on the beach. But it was phenomenal to see. Absolutely stunning. Really, really cool. And then you get high tides there, and loads of shorebirds, dunlin and knot, and godwits and things. Absolutely stunning. Cool. And then you got Park Gate.
I was going to mention Park Gate.
Yeah, Park Gate is like an area of marshland, which is excellent. Sometimes you get spoonbill, but you get marsh harriers, or hen harriers occasionally. I've just done a video that's gone up tonight where I put short-eared owls. They're there in the winter, and it's got a fantastic fish and chip shop as well, which is the main thing.
Can you tell what my favorite food is?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you guys call chips is like French fries, right?
Yeah, that's a bit different than French fries, though.
Thicker, but yeah.
Like a thick French fry.
Yeah, it's like a proper.
What do you call them? Thick? Is it?
What do you call thick chips? Thick French fries. What would you call them?
I mean, we have like regular potato chips, and then there's like kettle cooked potato chips, but I don't think they're as thick as what. I don't know if we really have something like that.
There's chips is for us.
No, I think they do. I'm sure I've seen.
So they're like chips. Fish chips are like quite fat. They're not like French fries. Are like quite thin and crispy, aren't they?
Oh, okay. Let's see. What other foods do you guys have that are different than us?
Crikey, there's probably quite a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot. Of
we do a lot of roast meals, like
stews
and things. Because it's especially in the winter, because it's cold here in the, well, as you probably know, but we do a lot of kind of what we'd call comfort food. But
soups
like and stews and roast dinners. I can't think of anything quintessentially British other than fish and chips, really. But
roast dinner.
Yeah, roast dinner. I can't think of Yorkshire puddings.
Shepherd's pie.
Cottage pie, yeah.
Do you want me to keep going? Hot pots. I can keep going for days.
You go to certain places and they do. There's like local cuisines, like.
Yeah, because we live in Wales and we've got lava bread, haven't we?
Yeah, and Welsh cakes.
Welsh cakes.
You call it lava bread?
It's what do you call it? I don't know how to describe it to you. I don't like it anyway.
It sounds cool. It sounds sweet. I doubt it
no,
is.
It's not. No. Then you got Welsh cakes, which have got like raisins in them and they're quite flat. Then you go across to Liverpool and you get scouse, which is like a stewy hot pot type thing, isn't it? So everywhere has its own sort of
pork pies in Melton Mowbray.
Pork pies, yeah.
There are quite.
Cheese.
There's lots of different cheeses. Yeah. Cheese is a big thing in the UK.
It's big in Wisconsin too.
Yeah.
All different types of cheese. Yeah. Like you could go to a place up in Yorkshire that's like you go to a specific cheese shop where you can get tasters, and it's really cool.
Oh, Welsh rarebit.
Yeah.
That's a big thing over here.
Oh,
that's cheese on toast mixed with stout and things like that. Beer, basically.
Wait, that's what that is? There's
Welsh
no rabbit in it?
No.
Oh,
okay,
rabbit.
That's
rabbit.
Oh,
rabbit.
Okay. Interesting. I think we call them steak fries, thicker fries.
Steak fries, yeah.
That's right.
So that's like our probably fish and chips is our kind of go-to if we're birded and we're too tired to cook something in the van. And because what we call chippies, fish and chip shops, over here.
You can find one anywhere.
You can find one almost anywhere. And some of them are really, really good. And they're not expensive either. So it's usually a sure thing. Although we did experiment once for a couple of weeks, didn't we, with different takeaways. And
that was fun.
And we ended up getting like one evening Nepalese takeaway, which was absolutely stunning.
Not that I've ever tried it, but I did, and it was lovely.
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
But no, we do often we've got cooking stuff in the van, so we often take something we can reheat in a pan a lot of the time. But sometimes after a full day of birding, it's as you know, you can be pretty exhausted.
Yeah, especially like doing a big day or something like that, or if you missed on something.
Yeah.
You just want to eat quick, don't you?
Yeah. I find when we're birding in the day, it's like eating on the go because you don't want to stop to eat just in case you miss something. And we're usually driving miles. Like, I don't know if you've seen many of our videos, but we'll start somewhere and then drive a couple of hours to somewhere else to see something else, then drive a couple of hours to somewhere else to see something else during the day. So we can be like, most of what we do in that day isn't even filmed because it's just us driving.
Yeah.
And you just
plotting and planning.
And you, yeah.
It's true that there's a lot of planning that goes into it, isn't there?
Well, yeah, before we go away at a weekend, you've got to go, right, what are we likely to see? What are we not likely to see? What's likely to move on? Is it worth driving 5 hours for that? Are there 2 or 3 birds that are reachable on one trip? Because ideally, in a video, we cram a lot in. So we probably don't make it easy for ourselves. But usually, on a video, we have 3 species, usually, minimum. I've occasionally done the odd one with 2, but I'd prefer to have 3+ key species on a video if I can.
Yeah, and eBird's big for you guys, right?
Reasonably, yeah.
Because we talked to somebody, our friend Owen from the Netherlands, and he said there's some completely other app they use, and they kind of joke about people that use eBird because it's like not as scientific or something.
Yeah,
they bird differently in the Netherlands, don't they?
Yeah.
They got a different way of birding.
I talked to Dutch birder quite a bit. I don't know if you're aware of him.
Yeah.
But, yeah, he doesn't use eBird.
No, they bird differently to how we do.
But he's seen a lot of birds this year.
Yeah.
He's doing a comparison video, us versus them, and he's wiped the floor with us in the Netherlands. But they get a lot of birds moving up from like the middle of Europe. So we don't get as much. There's kind of the English Channel's a little bit of a barrier for some species. So this year we've had our first breeding zitting sister colas, which is like a little warbler species. And they bred for the first time in Suffolk. We saw them but didn't get them on film. But they breed quite regularly on the Normandy coast, which is like, I don't know, if it was a drive, if you could drive over it, it'd be an hour. It's not far. It's only kind of 40, 50 miles.
That's a cool looking bird. It kind of looks like a warbler version of a wren.
Yeah. They are related to warblers. They used to call them fan-tailed warbler. But they breed in Normandy in France. Like, they've bred there for years, but they just haven't until recently crossed the channel. Also, there's blue throat. They breed.
Oh yeah, those are beautiful.
They are beautiful. We've never seen one. They do turn up in the UK occasionally, but they breed on the north coast of France. Absolutely gorgeous birds. That's a bit of a dream bird for us.
Yeah, that's cool.
There is one that shows up in Somerset for the last 2 summers, but it's in a place that's like a wildfowl collection that you've got to pay to get in, and we're skinflint, so we don't like to pay to get in places.
I've got a thing about it. I'm like, no, refuse to pay to see wildlife.
So most of the places you go must be free then, huh?
No, because we're RSPB members, aren't we?
Yeah. So if something shows up on an RSPB reserve, which is the biggest kind of wildlife charity in the UK, have reserves, birding reserves. So we're members, so we pay for a membership. We pay for a membership with the Wildlife Trust, because that means we can park at some places.
The National Trust.
The National Trust, they don't have as many bird places, but they do have some. And we also pay for Spurn, which is that place in East Yorkshire we go. There's a membership there. We do it more to support them because they're small.
Yeah.
But
it supports all the teenagers going off to university as well.
Yeah, so they do a lot of ringing and things.
They do a lot of ringing and teaching them all about wildlife and all to do with anything, don't they?
What does RSPB stand for?
Royal Society for the Protection of Birds.
Okay, so those are like the 2 big organizations you guys have over there?
Yeah, RSPB and the Wildlife Trust, I would say, were the
Yeah,
biggest ones.
definitely.
Yeah.
I feel like we have like a bunch of organizations that kind of like all do different things, and there's not like one central like bird organization.
You've got Audubon Society, haven't
We've
you?
got Audubon societies. There's the American Bird Conservancy. There's like the one that is involved with naming different birds and stuff like that. So there's just like there's the ABA, the American Birding Association. So it's kind of like weirdly spread out and not centralized.
Haven't you got a load of your birds being renamed soon?
They talked about doing it. I don't know where they are in the process of that or if it's gonna happen or what. But because there was like a proposal, there was backlash over the proposal, and then I don't know where we're at with the whole process.
I hope it doesn't happen because I have to relearn all their names again.
Yeah.
And I,
Well, the thing about it is like even if the US rename like then other countries would have to be on board with it, I think too. So I think it's a lot more complicated than just doing it. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
could you imagine seeing the Forsters turn and having to call it something else?
Yeah, no, no. I have enough bird names to remember. But we call things different. Some birds that we share, we call different things. Like, for instance, Lapland bunting, Lapland longspur.
Yeah.
We have grey phalarope. You guys call it red phalarope.
Oh, you call it grey phalarope? That's one.
Well, whenever we see it in the UK, it's grey. We never get them in the summer. We only ever get them in the winter, in the grey.
Yeah.
So,
Makes sense.
What other birds do they we call different?
Buzzards,
Oh.
hawks and buzzards.
no, yeah, we get them. Skewers. You call them? Is it Jagers? Skewers.
Jaegers. There's still
Yeah,
some
Jaegers.
that are skewers though, like great
Yeah.
skewer.
Great skewer. We call them
Divers.
They-
They're divers.
divers. Yeah, you've got loons, and we call them
We
divers.
call them divers.
Yeah, like red-throated diver, and like Great Northern Diver, I think is Arctic loon. I think.
Shorelark.
Oh no, common loon. Shorelark.
Shorelark, hornlark.
You've got hornlark. We call them shorelark.
Hmm.
So yeah, there's quite a few that like crossovers that have got different names. We sometimes do, if we've got a little bit of time in the evening, we'll do a bird quiz, but like an online bird quiz, but it's
But
always
it's an
American
American
names. So we've got to remember not only what the bird is, but what it's called in the States.
Yeah. I guess that's one advantage of scientific names, if you know those, then it's
Oh, no.
centralized. But like people don't really call birds by scientific names. I feel like that's more other like
Yeah.
bug people will use scientific names and stuff, not really in the bird world.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
No,
think
we
so.
certainly don't. I haven't really come across anyone who really does.
I wouldn't be able to remember all the scientific names from them.
No, I
'cause
don't
they're
think
so
I would
long.
as well.
Oh, well, they change those too sometimes too.
Yeah.
Still put something in a different category.
Yeah.
How long have you been birding for?
It's been over 10 years now, so maybe 11-ish, 11, 12. Yeah, we started because we watched the movie The Big Year. I don't know if you guys have seen that.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed with it.
yeah.
It's so good. It's such a good movie. And
Yeah.
we were like, people do that? We should go see what it's like. We were like, didn't
Yeah.
know we were doing, but it was super fun, so we just kept doing it.
I watch all them. Yeah, I've watched all that.
What did you make of that Listers film?
Um,
Did you meet them guys?
we met them at Biggest Week in Ohio. And they
Right.
were filming some stuff there, which it wasn't actually in the documentary, which is interesting because it's like one of the biggest birding festivals.
Yeah.
There was definitely a lot of like relatable stuff. It's a certain type of humor. So if you're
Okay.
like a type of person that enjoys that humor, like you're gonna enjoy the movie. But if like you're someone who doesn't like swearing, I think it's would be an immediate turnoff for you. I think it kind of like any situation was in there. I think it kind of took it to the extreme of making it seem as ridiculous as possible. Which is like some of it is ridiculous, but some of it was a little like over the top for the purpose of the documentary, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I think you have to take it with a pinch of salt and just find it funny.
Yeah, there were some people in there that I know, like I don't know if you know Ezekiel. He's broke
The young
lower,
lad who was in there.
yeah, he broke the lower
Yeah.
48 big year record, and there's like a quote of him where they ask like, "Oh, would you still bird if eBird didn't exist?" And he says no, and they just cut it off there. But apparently there was like a bunch after that was like, no, because the community, I wouldn't have access to the community, and they're so helpful like with everything.
Yeah.
So
Oh, that's
I didn't like that some stuff was edited for what they wanted it to be instead of like what it actually was. So I don't like that aspect of it. But it was an entertaining watch.
Yeah. I liked Arian's big year. I thought he was stunning.
Oh yeah, Arian's like he's such a hardcore, like he just loves birding so much. We got to bird with him in Arizona, and it was so much fun to see birds with him and see his like passion.
It's one of them people that I think you might, on something like that, you might struggle to keep up with. Like,
well, he wasn't super like being from so many different like birding in so many different places. In Arizona where we were birding, it's not like if we were birding in the Netherlands where he would know every single little thing. So I felt like we were on a little more level playing field of like knowing what calls and things were. And we were with his friends Billy and Ethan, and they're super good guides. So they were like, really great to have along, and they kind of knew where everything was, which was helpful.
I wonder what it was like to get back after that big year and then go, right, let's go birding back home. Because I've found out when I've come back from Africa or when I came back from Costa Rica, it took me a couple of weeks just to get like back to want to see British birds again.
Yeah, you're kind of just like, nothing I see here is going to compare to what I just saw.
Yeah.
So I don't have as much drive.
It's quite a weird feeling.
I don't have that problem. You do, though. We've discussed this a few times. I don't have that problem. Like, right, let's go.
You gotta wait till you go to Costa Rica, and then you can know.
I can't wait.
Yeah, it's quite a strange, it's quite a strange thing, but it must have been odd for him to come back after. And also another thing that I find weird is he's going to have to look back to if someone says, "Well, have you seen this bird before?" He's probably not going to remember most of them.
Well, it had to have been so fast too. You get a glimpse. Okay, next thing. I would want to sit and enjoy it. I think that's like
exactly
why I wouldn't want to do something like that. Is I like to really take stuff in. I think that'd be tough to pull away. Like if you like that blue throat, for example, like if you were doing a big year, you'd be like, oh, blue throat, next thing. Instead of like really, instead of really soaking it up.
Yeah, I like to even put the binoculars down and look at the bird with my own eyes as well.
There's something I think a lot of birders and a lot of people in general don't do, which is taking the moment. Everyone's always looking for the next thing. And I think sometimes you should just stand back in a situation and realize how cool that situation is. And birding is the perfect thing for that.
Yeah. Have you guys heard of the book Slow Birding?
No.
I think it's Joan Strassman. It's talking about like the art of slowing down and really taking in the moment. You guys might enjoy that one.
Yeah, no, that sounds good.
Sounds like my kind of thing.
Like, even with us when we're out to see one bird and the next bird and the next bird. Like, remember when we went to see the lesser grey shrike? Yeah. And we were just like, this is a bird that we hoped to see when we were in Greece, and we didn't. We were a little bit early in the year for them. And then one showed up in the UK and we went to see it. And it showed so nicely. And it ended up sitting in the bush close to the path where all the birders were. And I'd got all my footage. I got more than enough footage. I even got photographs, which I like to do now and again if there's enough time to do that. And we were stood there and I was like, I may never see this bird again.
You do have to take it in, don't you?
And then we're like, well, we have got to go because we've got another bird to go and see.
For me, that's when it's really hard, is when you're seeing a rare bird and it's like showing really well and you're like, when do I leave? You're like, I don't know. I don't know when I'm going to see this again. So I'll just like sit there and like try to soak it in. And it's hard for me to pull away and be like, okay, let me go do something else,
The other situation which is similar is when you go and try and see a bird and you know it's there, but it isn't showing. How long do you give that?
Yeah, I mean, we normally give it as long as we literally can. Like, we're pretty dedicated to just being there until it... But I have burnt myself out, though, where I'll just keep looking and looking and looking. And by the end of the day, I'm like, did I even have fun doing this?
Yeah.
Would I have been better served giving up earlier and going to do something else enjoyable? So
I think we've done that as well.
We've done that a few times. We've done that a few times and failed, but done it a few times and it's paid off.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of a tricky one.
It's definitely you learn perseverance birding.
Oh, no
I
doubt,
feel like a lot of times I'll bird with people who like, you'll be looking for a rare bird. They'll look for like a half hour and they'll be like, well, I'm going to leave. And you're like, we just started. Like, this is just the beginning of looking and seeing what we can.
Yeah, you've got to have a lot of patience, haven't you?
We've waited hours for stuff, and like hours, and I'm sure you've done the same. Sorry, there's a motorbike going past. That's really loud. Yeah, we've waited hours and hours and hours for birds, haven't we?
We have, yeah.
And then that first woodchuck shrike we saw.
I was determined. I was sat
Yeah.
there and I was
I mean,
seeing...
the payoff just feels so good when you do see it, though.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I was so happy.
There's a few times we've done the wryneck even this year. Like wryneck's a British bird. They don't breed.
Oh,
here.
those are cool. Yeah, I've seen those
Yeah.
online.
They don't breed here, but they used to. But they do pass through every year. And every time we failed to see one, and we had a story where we went not far away. It was on a day in between school runs. It was about an hour and a half away. Yeah. We drove, and there was a little reservoir, and we were walking up to it, and people were saying, "Yeah, it's showing really well on the bank of the reservoir." Yeah. And we could see the reservoir. We were walking up to it, and just in the distance, you can see people's heads do that. And we got there, and that was the wryneck flying away. So this year we went down to Landguard in Suffolk, which is well on the southeast coast. And there was one scene there, but when we arrived, the weather was like really nasty, like rainy and a bit windy. And you were suffering you just had COVID.
Yeah.
And so she was rough.
I was really poorly.
So we went and had a look and we couldn't find it. So luckily there was a hoopoo nearby. And Kaylee went, right, I'm going to tap out. I'm going to go for a rest while you go have a look at the hoopoo. And then I came back. I did see it. And I came back and I was like, what do you want to do? Do you want to leave? What do you want to do? And she was like, the wryneck's been seen. Run. So I like, but a power, I didn't run because I'm too fat for that these days, but I power walked and you were like right behind me. So I got back and this wryneck, the weather had improved and the wryneck was feeding on the bottoms of bushes and all the birders were there. And I was like literally lay on the floor and in my mind was like, I wonder if Kaylee's here.
I could barely breathe, but I got there.
And she was to the right-hand side of me, but I didn't know she was there. I was texting her on the vlog going, it's showing in between getting all this footage of this amazing bird. But that was a bit of a wait, but that was so good. And that's not a bird that's particularly colourful. It's quite a cryptic-looking bird, but...
It's cool again. It's cool.
Oh, it's ace. It's such a nice... that was a really, really nice thing to see.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And there's so many times we've driven and you've been like, I'm not sure if I can be bothered driving 5 hours for this bird.
Yeah, but I say that every single time.
and then you get there and you see the bird and it pays off. It's worth it.
They're so cool, aren't they?
Yeah, right. They're awesome. They look like kind of snaky, you know?
Yeah. They're only little as well. They're smaller than you expect.
Oh, really? Yeah, I didn't think.
They're related to woodpeckers. Look, a lot of your woodpeckers, barring pileated woodpecker, are quite small anyway. I think over there.
Relatively. I mean, red-bellied woodpeckers. Well, what? I don't know what I can compare it to in the UK.
Great spotted is our kind of main woodpecker in the UK.
Is that bigger than like a downy? Do you know?
I think so. Yeah. It's
okay. I would assume like red-bellied we have or hairy woodpeckers probably similar to that size. Great spotted size.
Yeah, great spotted. We do have lesser spotted, but they're like trying to find a lesser spotted woodpecker they're so rare now, like so rare. I saw one years ago before I met Kaylee, and now I've not seen one.
Well, people were seeing them, weren't they? And then
you've got to go at a specific time of year to a specific place. And pray to the birding gods and sacrifice something so you can see it.
So it's tough, is what you're telling me.
Yeah.
No doubt, yeah. And then there's a couple of other birds in the UK that we want to see. Like the holy grail bird in the UK, I think, for British birds is possibly capercaillie.
And you're not even supposed to. You're not even supposed to look.
You're not really supposed to look for them because they're that rare and protected.
How do you spell that?
Capercaillie, good question. Give me a minute, I'll find out.
Oh, is that like a grouse-looking thing?
Yeah.
Big turkey-looking thing,
grouse thing.
Well, I feel like those would be relatively easy to find if they're that big.
No, because they're only in Scotland.
In a very specific place in Scotland.
And they are so protected.
And very secretive.
Yeah. And there isn't many of them.
There's not many of them. The only potential you've got is during a certain time of the year, they will the males will get aggressive and they'll like attack cyclists and things.
Oh,
They'll literally like run at people. So I'd like to see one of them. I'd very much like to see one of them.
Yeah.
And the other bird that's been a bit of a pain is Scottish crossbill. But I don't know.
A lot of people have seen them, haven't they?
Yeah, you hear them. I heard them in Scotland, but I've never seen one. I saw one as a kid, but I haven't seen one as an adult. It's not much different than a regular crossbill.
no, it looks very similar to red crossbill.
I think the beak's like marginally bigger. It's like in between crossbill and parrot crossbill. It's somewhere in between, but the issue with them is it's quite hard to distinguish that from a regular crossbill unless you see it very close up.
Oh, sure.
And or you hear it, because the sound, the song is marginally different.
Gotcha.
But it's hard. I did hear them last time we were in Scotland, but I didn't see one.
Yeah,
And our rules on our
because we always go for the thingy tip, don't we?
Yeah, we go for the crested tip
Crested
there.
tip, yeah.
We heard them up there, but we don't add them if we hear them. We only add them.
Gotcha. You guys have to see it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we don't add them onto our year list if we just hear them.
I gotcha.
Which
Well,
a lot of
cool.
people do.
Thanks so much for taking the time to talk with us, guys. If
No stress.
people listening have not checked out the Backyard Aviary Adventures YouTube channel, make sure to check it out. Anything else you guys want to add about birding in the UK or the channel?
Yes, this coming year in 2026, you guys are going to be the first to hear it, depending on when you release this video. But we are doing a charity year.
It's a charity big year.
Charity big year, and we're going to put our money, our little bit of money we earn from YouTube, we're going to put money towards this charity. It's called Birds on the Brink. It's a small charity. They get most of their funding from Bird Photographer of the Year in the UK and from donations, and they give small grants to projects around the UK and around the world doing good for birds. So we're going to put some money in ourselves per bird we see, and we're going to open up GoFundMe so our viewers can do the same. So it's kind of giving a bit back and helping protect birds that we go and see.
Awesome. And then you'll have a link in your guys' YouTube page, I'm assuming. Okay, sweet.
As soon as we
Sounds
start.
good. What's your goal for species?
We didn't really want to put a roof on it.
Okay.
We wanted to just go and see what like this year we put a target, but I don't want to put a target on it because if we get abroad, I want to count birds there. If we can afford to go overseas.
But on our British list, we wouldn't mind beating what we beat this year.
It'd be nice to beat this year.
What'd you get this year?
It always is, though, isn't it?
Yeah. What'd you get this year?
So far, we're on, when we release this, we're on 274. And our target was 275.
Oh,
so we've got one bird.
Can you guys do it?
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a little wading bird down south we might try and go and see.
We're going to have to travel like 5 hours to go do it. But
to go and see potentially one little wading, if it's still there. But we'll see. Hopefully, all being well.
Awesome. Thanks, Nigel and Kaylee, and thanks to everyone for watching and listening to this episode of the Badgerland Birding Podcast.